Welcome to the Toffee TV Podcast. We're all back. We're all back.
It's episode 6, even after I ruined last week when I said it was episode 4 and we had to redo it again. So it's episode 6.
Okay, it's episode 6. It's fine. It's fine.
That's
We've
cool.
got 3 people back
together
on the podcast. First time in
Triple
about
threat.
6 weeks or something. Baby. Let's not start that.
No, let's not. I want a Pilsner, baby. No, come on. Let's go.
That's the bootlegger, if anyone doesn't know. Have a look on Twitter.
He's the man.
Does anyone not know who the bootlegger is?
Me until Baz mentioned it to me, so fair play.
He'll be one of... I hope he doesn't become one of those things. Not like at first a few people know about him and make a few jokes and it's all kept in house, and then everyone knows about him, and within weeks everyone hates him.
And he's the Wellstone Raider.
Yeah, that's what I mean, the Wellstone Raider.
He's turning up at your stag doing
that.
He
turns up chained on a stag do going, are we going for a Pilsner, baby? Imagine taking him on a stag do, though. He'd bankrupt you.
All the bevies in with his cost.
That's what
the cost would be his bevies.
That's what the Raider used to do.
The Raider was £500.
He could only take 3 pints though, couldn't he?
No, we used to like all his ale. People like taking him to Barcelona for the weekend.
Yeah,
and you're like, what are you doing, you idiot?
Imagine being chained to him.
You want some? Oh.
Let's have it. You want some, mate?
Back in the day, that's what I'm saying. That it's still prevalent now. The 15 minutes of fame thing, but it's now 1 minute because of viral. You know the way viral things work. Yeah.
You've got it right, baby. Anyway, let's get on with this.
Well, Schelke used one of his videos at the weekend. My spidey senses tell me we're back in this, baby.
There you go. Listen, if it's good enough for John Joe's team, why not?
There you go.
Rookie of the month.
Rookie of the month.
Aye. Bundesliga.
Incredible scenes.
It's great, isn't it?
Just shows the level of the
Anything
Bundesliga, baby.
Anything to avoid talking about Bournemouth, yeah?
No, we're talking about Bournemouth.
Yeah, we're putting it off as long as we can, aren't we? Let's be honest.
You know, podcast, that's what you do. You've got to mix it up. Talk about crazy things like Monster energy drinks.
It's a monster of a deal.
They're ambitious to get used across lots of different platforms.
How many teams have signed with them? 4 or 5?
5, I think, yeah.
It's everyone outside the top 6.
We never get a unique deal. It's always like 17 clubs in the Premier League have signed exclusive deals.
Do you think that we have like the same like advertising agency representing us, and they just get like us like?
It's like the stamp. You know, the stamp we have with any player we're linked with. It's like Everton, West Ham, and all. Someone just stamps it in the article. All of those scenes. Now it's the same with like Monster Energy drink. There's the stamp.
That's why nobody wants the top 6 to change, because they've all got
the stamp made.
The 6 teams made. Like, lads, I'll have to get a new stamp made.
Out of brass.
There's not that many people who make stamps anymore. So
last week I done something with John, and you know the fella who tried. I think I said this to you, and as well. You were away, but the fella who tried to buy. Did he try to buy Chelsea? You know the one who
Jim Ratcliffe from England.
Eventually bought Nice, didn't he? And he was linked with and moved for Newcastle, which he just left.
As well in
but he come out and said, I told you this, didn't he? He come out and said, you know, the top 6 are like 2 billion to buy now, and you know we haven't got that because you've got to buy them, then put the money in and all that. And he went, there's no point buying a club like Newcastle and putting 400 million in to try and win the Everton Cup.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. He said because basically
can we win the Everton Cup as well? The trophy.
He said because basically Everton are the only.
Is that
team.
one of the trophies on Pez?
I don't know. But I'm thinking, what does he mean? But what he said was basically Everton are the next team to break into the top 6. We haven't got the money to compete with that. And I'm thinking, we didn't even win our own cup last year. Wolves won it last year and Burnley won it the year before.
Exactly.
So it'd be nice if we won.
Cup.
But he called it the Everton Cup. And then he went and bought Nice for 90 million.
I mean, isn't that the PSG Cup though? No one's ever catching them, are they? So
maybe it's a team who gets second.
Yeah, Monaco and Lyon.
Maybe he wants to win the Lyon Cup in France.
Good shout.
The Everton Cup.
Call it the Nice Cup.
Can we have an Everton Cup, mate?
Merseyside Blues Cup. That's what it should be called.
Should be.
The Everton Cup. Nice one. I mean, as you said, are we ever going to win? I mean, I don't think we'll ever win a cup ever again in my lifetime. So
it does feel like, you know what though, right? And I know it's Everton and this is a long time and all that, but not the only thing, but one of the things that has to keep you going is we've been in this studio now for a number of years, sharing it with the other lot.
Yeah.
And when we started, the other lot had Ricky Lambert up front, and a few years later, they are the best team in the Premier League at this moment and the European champions. So I know I'm not saying Everton would do that, but you have to have that hope that if you do kind of get it right, you can make those things. Someone mentioned Pochettino to me when talking about Silva the other day, and I was like, I'll go and have a look, because he must have struggled at the start at Spurs.
Sixth or
Yeah, it was
something,
like fifth, fourth,
Yeah.
second, third. But
They had the team ready, didn't they?
they did, but he also got it right, didn't he? And without spending copious amounts of money. So I think that's the thing that probably drives
So
us
are we in that?
all.
Are we in that frustrating period? Whatever happens, on and off the pitch, is that the big problem? Are we like? Is this the bit where we're going to look back in 3 years and go, "Oh, remember those days before we become the Everton Cup winners"? Remember those days?
Well,
Those,
no, but what
those
I'd say
wacky
is-
days when we had Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front before he could score 40
If we
a
ever
season.
had a plan, like, I've been an Everton fan since 1993. So if we
Jumping on the bandwagon, you.
Oh,
it's,
you
I was-
knew.
Well, I say that because I was 6 at the time, so it was 7. So that's only a first remember football. But
Dad, what's misery? Here it is,
Here
son.
it is.
well, my dad's a Liverpool
In a
fan,
cat.
but whatever.
There you go. There's misery, son.
Does your dad not like you? I want to support
Well,
Everton,
you can
Dad.
say
No,
that.
no.
You could say that, but anyway, but this is the first time I think Everton have ever had a real plan. Like even under Moyes, it was like year to year,
Yeah,
we
it was hand
scraped
to mouth.
together. You know what I mean? And so maybe that's why I've still got that little bit of faith that Marcel Brands and maybe Silva or some other manager, depends who it is, can get us there. Because I think that's the first time we've ever gone, there's something beyond next year. The club might be still there in a year's time. The stadium's over here, so there's some stuff to look forward to. And I think without that, then I would probably just give up. If I'm honest, but yeah.
Before we start on my Bournemouth, because we will in a minute, I honestly hope, genuinely hope that the minute, like, the stadium is actually confirmed and it feels absolutely real to everybody, right? That everyone sort of stops worrying about what's going on the pitch as such, or isn't in such a hurry to get to where we all think we should be, because hopefully then there will be, like, at the moment it's all, we've said this loads of times, the stadium still feels like it's,
pie in the sky.
yeah, it does to a lot of people, I think.
It's because of how many failed.
Yeah, I know it doesn't to some people, but to a lot of people it doesn't. So you're pinning your hopes on everything that happens on the pitch. So whereas as soon as the stadium is absolutely confirmed and there's a spade in the ground and you can see people actually building it, then suddenly I think the pressure will come off the people on the pitch, because then people will be the Andy van der Meijden syndrome. As soon as he's fit, lads, as soon as he's fit, we're going to be amazing.
What go out with a stripper? Oh wait, okay.
Allegedly.
Was there a syndrome?
It was for me.
I mean, there was a big syndrome.
No, but it's. So I think that once that stadium doesn't become something that's pie in the sky and becomes a real thing, then we'll go. I think people will go. The plan now. You can see the plan.
I was going to say is that, would you take that as like something tangible then? In terms of, you can see, look, there's the plan, this is what we're going for.
Well, I'll add to that, maybe you already do, but would a lot of people believe in Mashiri and his project more? Because there's still questions, and people still say, from when we lose mostly, he's a fraud, so-and-so is a fraud, and the stadium's never going to be able. Do you think that people would then go, this is real, this is a real thing, Everton are trying to become the club we've always wanted them to be?
I think personally, Mashiri's plan has always been to build a stadium and then maybe sell.
Yeah, I think
that's what he's always looked at. I think that's what we've always talked about. Get us a new stadium. Get us on, okay, not a level footing, because those clubs, I mean, I think you shared the picture there of the kit deals.
Yeah. It's outrageous.
And the top 6 are miles ahead of everyone.
40 million a year ahead, yeah.
Someone else is above us as well.
West Ham.
No.
There's someone like, it's not. Is it Leicester or?
Stupid.
Is it someone who owns a
one
company
team
like,
is above us?
Yeah, and it's.
Oh, it's Southampton in London.
Yeah, it's Southampton.
But only by like a million.
And only because they sell their kits for like £97 for a pair of shorts.
But everyone else, you know what made a mockery of? When people were losing their minds over Adidas Everton kits, like Wolves is second worst, like $1 million a year or something.
Oh, because you have to be a priest. Like that's why when people go, I want a Nike thing, Nike wouldn't care about Everton because they're not.
We already know that.
Exactly.
That's why I don't want to leave Umbro.
Exactly.
I think the Umbro stuff's great.
We printed our own. Well, you first put me onto this back in the day, but we used to have to print our own Everton kits. They just send you the kit, and you have to put the badges on. That was the night.
I remember that. 2012, 13.
Yeah, when we got Nike,
all
the stuff that was on the website, like the leisure gear, was just Nike t-shirt that Everton got stitched, like kit bag or Fanatics. Then it was all nonsense. So
Brazil's there, like
but I do think that as soon as a new ground comes, then we suddenly get at least, well, the revenue at the ground would double instantly, and then suddenly, there's not all this doom and gloom off the pitch, because I've seen it this week saying, I seen a thing with the Swiss Ramble saying, you know, we're losing X amount. And
Kieran Maguire did it.
You'd like to hope that that's part of the plan. You know, this year we lose X amount. Next year or this year when the finances report comes out, we'll lose less. And the year after, when all the dead wood, the proper dead wood from the Koeman era is gone, then we're not losing money. And then when we go into this, that always timed perfectly from when we go in the stadium, and suddenly we start generating money, that's the plan.
What I would say is, and what gives me confidence with that, is Mashiri's an accountant, and he's he's been with Usmanov, and he's
with
the
some of the biggest companies in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Listen, the portfolio they've got is including the live building.
So
it's not Everton under Bill's sole stewardship, which is like, can we? And to be fair, he didn't. If he'd have gambled a bit more, we'd have probably done better.
Yeah, there's certain times in January you thought, he's got 4 or 5 million for one player, then we would have been knees in, but yeah.
So I think you're right. I think that the plan is there. They know what they're doing. That's the whole thing. I mean, Marcel Brand's come in and there was a stupid amount of players that needed to be shipped out. And over the course of 12 months, he's got rid of most of it. Okay, a few are still hanging on, but we'll see less and less of that.
Next summer is going to be the absolute crucial. It's going to be dead interesting next summer. I know we're going to talk about managers in the second part of the show, but next summer is going to be so interesting because a lot of that dross will have gone. You know, what the bits that are hanging on. You know, Balassi one way or another will be gone next summer. Niasse will go. Martino will be out of contract. You know, Morales is already gone, and then that's it. Then everyone's gone, hasn't he? And then you got to make a lot of decisions about all those younger players. And that opens the coffers up.
There's a still going people.
And
like that.
Also, as well as that, you know, and on top of that, you'll also be able to say, Silva maybe, but Brands as a project leader will be able to say that they'll sign 4 or 5 in the summer, and that then will leave us with a squad that basically is all Silva Brands then. Because if you think about it, you've got Gylfi, Keane, Pickford, Coleman, and Schneider, who started last weekend, who were all the leftovers from that former team, and maybe Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's a young player. And if you've got 5 players and to replace some of those players, not Pickford obviously, but the rest of them, then you'd have a whole squad then essentially of Marcel Brands buyers, and that becomes where the focus comes then, doesn't
That's
it?
incredible.
And also with that comes a better value on all of those players.
It does, yeah.
Doesn't it? Because obviously we're buying a lot younger, better football.
But the other side of it is as well, no matter what anyone says, the doom and gloom is about the money situation. Mashiri's put himself in a position now where he is building a stadium. That's all. We're on the road to that. So there's a commitment off the pitch. There has to be a commitment on the pitch. It's not a Randy Lerner situation where you can just go, no, we've spent enough. We're not going anywhere. You've got to keep competing. You've got to put money in. It's just, and that's part of the brand's thing, isn't it? You can't
take your foot off the gas for 3 years and then, say Everton did, and you end up in a relegation battle and the new stadium's getting built. As if a businessman would ever let that happen. You know what I mean? And that's just not good business sense. So he's going to obviously want us to push. And Brands has not came in because it's just not his way to, it'll be also Rands. He wants to build a side, and obviously it's harder than he probably thought it would be, but
he wouldn't have left where he was though.
No,
they were winning everything. They were more than comfortable there. They loved them. 8 years. He wouldn't have told the teams.
No. He chose Everton's project specifically because he could make a name for himself.
So I've got no worries about that. And you're right. What you said right at the very start. It probably is the first time we've had a proper plan that we can execute, and it's you've got to. It takes time. It's frustrating because every year that passes and we don't really do anything. The spring gets tighter, the coiled spring gets tighter, and I think that's why we're so emotional now as Everton.
Week to week, yeah.
But we're almost becoming
Newcastle,
West Ham.
Well, no, I'm going to say something which is even worse than that. We're almost becoming, as a fan base, what Sam Allardyce said we were, which is we don't know what we want. We're a contradiction.
We are, yeah.
And that is terrible for him to say anything that might come true.
But doesn't that come from the club not telling us what they want?
Yes, but I've said this long and hard.
Of the club, right? Put it this way, right? I'm not saying the owner Mashiri or Brands is expected to come out in public, but I don't have the sense that Silva has to finish top 6 this year to keep his job. But in reality, 2 years into a 3-year contract, what is the cut-off point for him? What does he have to achieve? The first year was about stability. It was about putting new players into the squad, people learning the system. Where does he have to finish this season for people at the club to go, we're on the right path? Is it just Europe? Can that Europe be achieved by winning a trophy or getting 7th place if other teams fall into cup competitions? what is the objective? Because I never feel the sense that there is an objective from the club. So therefore, how do the fans know what is the bar for Everton?
This is what I've said about long and hard. Now, as you say, you don't expect machines to come out and go, we expect Marco to finish 7th this year. I understand that, but I've said this, that the fans to get behind the project need to understand what the objectives are. So you can say, year 1, 2, 3, this is what our plan is, and by the end of the plan, we hope to be challenging for Champions League spots. The problem with this year, though, as well, is everyone's looked this summer and gone, Man United is soft, Arsenal is soft, Chelsea is soft, and the expectation week on week now, no matter what, is now that we should be, because of the squad and possibly because of Everton fans maybe buying into the quality of the squad, and maybe they should, because on paper it is a good squad, that they should be in that top 6 this season because teams are failing. But maybe that's not a realistic expectation. Maybe we'll be one of the teams fighting for it, but if we don't finish in it, do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't think we should have. I don't think we can't guarantee ourselves that. Really, it's something that has to happen naturally. I think next year is the year, not this. That's for me.
I mean, maybe. I don't know whether you gain anything from coming out, I think, other than putting pressure on everyone. I don't know. I mean,
is there anything wrong with putting pressure on people?
No, but you can also have extenuating circumstances, which derails the project a little bit. The project derails it a little bit.
Oh, it is, but Brands thinks 2 years down the line.
You know, I mean, Klopp coming out and saying, you know, we'll win the league within 4 years. Well, this is year 4, and they might. But if they don't, it's like 4 and that. So if they don't, then people will be on his back. Will
anyone be on his back, though?
Well, Andy Robinson's back last night, didn't he? He lost the game, you know what I mean?
He was going to win if, in 4 years, and he didn't, so he's failed, even though he hasn't failed.
Oh, we'll say he's failed, yeah.
But, other people coming out and saying things. I think, Marco Silva said this, that the aim is Europe this year. He said it himself.
I think it's a minimum, yeah.
So he has to get it. You've got to look at a progression path, haven't you? You've got to look and go, where's the progress? Show me where the progress is. 8th place, having finished 8th place the year before, we allowed it because we said, well, we're better than we were 12 months ago to watch. Under Allardyce, it was horrendous, let's be honest. 1 shot on target in about 5 games and stuff. Yeah. We were much better. We had a really strong back end of the season. We looked really good. We whacked a few teams. It was all good. We were all buzzing. We got to the summer. We brought in some good players. If we'd have got Kurt Zouma and Will Sahara, I think people would have been talking about the best ever Everton transfer window in terms of some of the business we did. It didn't happen, so we're a little bit like, okay, we're a bit short. The hard thing, fair enough, the Zouma thing is obviously stuck in people's throats. But this year, there has to be tangible progress. Now, Arsenal, Chelsea are going to be up and down. We've seen that. United the same. There's an opportunity for Everton. But I think the minimum for Silva, the minimum has got to be 7th and comfortably. But I think we can get higher than that. But we won't if we don't win away games.
I think the main thing as well is in the part of the tangible process is you've got to say, year 1, they're getting used to his system, zonal mark, more of it. And then you need to see some consistency. I'm not talking about win 10 games on the bounce or anything like that, but I'm talking win away games, win home games consistently, get to 60, 70 points. And if they don't see that, that becomes where the issue is, because you should be seeing that progress in year 2. And I think that's what fans are starting to worry about, that we're not seeing these changes, we're not seeing the consistency.
Let's do this a bit more in part 2 with the manager.
Well, obviously, we're trying to stay away from the Bournemouth situation, but obviously, Sunday's performance, off the back of the Villa performance, 2 away games, Premier League away games in a row, it does leave fans scratching their head, because for another game, we've had large amounts of possession, opportunities, or not loads of clear-cut opportunities, but opportunities. And when the game was there to be won, neither the players or the manager took that on and went at it and went full steam at it. Yet if it had been a game at home, I think at 1-1, we go at that. We throw everything at it like we did, in the Wolves game where we're 2-2 with 10 minutes to go, and we are creating chances, and we did want to go and score. And yet on Sunday, very much like the Villa game, we start the game well, then we go behind, and then there's a drop off, and then luckily Sunday we score. But then we come into the second half, and we feel like we've got some kind of control. But then we lose 2 goals quickly, and nobody, whether it be on the pitch or off the pitch, responds to it.
Though that's the thing, isn't it? It's the mirror and the home form away. You're right, at home, 1-1 coming into the second half. They wouldn't have been able to get out their own box, because the crowd would have willed us on. The players would have got that extra energy. But you can't become a team that can only play in front of your own crowd, because half of the games you play aren't in front of your own crowd.
When's there a high, like, I just don't see Everton play like a consistent high level just throughout a half, even never mind the whole game. It's like we'll have a 10-15 minute period, like start the second half, and then it's like, that's your turn, Bournemouth, you take the impetus in this game. It never seems to be applied constant pressure throughout the game. We always look back to the West Ham game last season where we came out the traps and absolutely, like them really, but we don't seem to play like that. We just seem to try and control the game.
But isn't that personnel? So I look at our team, and in general our level's gone up since the manager's come in. Better players, which we have.
It has,
much better players. But then when you watch Sunday, and listen, I don't want to blame Morgan Schneiderlin, because he just done his job, but it's the player he is. It's not him. I don't think for 1 minute he goes out and goes, I can't be bothered, because he why would you? He's a professional.
I do think he's lost him the bite.
You know what though? It's I don't even know if it's that.
He doesn't look like he actually cares.
I'm
not having a go at him.
I would never question that.
No,
what I would say is actual physiology of him. Can he get around that pitch? We're slow. When you slow a game down at Premier League level away from home, right, it allows people like Bournemouth, who just went into a low block at times, it allows them to sit off you. So if you're just moving the ball slowly, and this is what Roberto Martinez's team did, they fell into that trap of moving the ball slowly. And if teams kind of look and go, they're better than us, which I think Bournemouth did. I think Eddie Howe looked and went, these are better than us, let them have the ball, because they normally like the possession, Bournemouth. And Everton move it as slow as we did. It's very, very easy to break down, because, and don't forget, two of their goals were just breakaways.
Yeah, they were.
Weren't they? Ryan Fraser legged it, got a free kick.
That's the same under Martinez. A lot had to happen because teams basically timed it where they win the ball off us in midfield and then they score on breaks against Martinez.
That's what we did to teams last season.
Yeah, but my fundamental issue with what you're saying there is the fact that we are, it's sort of a long term thing now, and it's even since the start of Martinez here, the ball has been played so slow by Everton. There's we don't like zip the ball around. You know, you watch the idiots over the park. You know, the ball zips. City, it zips around the pitch. These stretch teams.
What's Norwich at the weekend?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, people. Teams need to do that to try and get teams out of position. We let them set, and when we
let me ask you this then. On our midfield at the weekend, and this will sound like I'm having a go with Sigurdsson now, but you've got three midfielders, let's say, for argument's sake. So we have Fabian Delph, we had Morgan Schneiderlin, we got Gylfi Sigurdsson, right? Delph's the quickest out of those three,
which is worrying,
right? And Delph was playing in our half. We looked at we looked on the tactics show at his position, and he was next to Schneiderlin in our half, he was, which isn't great. Gylfi can't go through the gears. He's a one-pace player. He's dead creative, and he'll score great goals and stuff like that. Right? But so naturally, by its own makeup of that team, and I think this is why he wanted someone like Abdoulaye Doucouré, is that when we're trying to come through midfield, Richarlison's quick. Iwobi's quick, Calvert-Lewin's quick, Bernard's quick,
Coleman's quick. Yeah.
Coleman when he gets going, Luca Di when he gets going. But if you're playing through the team like we try to do, play through the middle, we've got no pace in there. So by the time Schneiderlin gets it, and he turns and he rolls it off and he gets it back, they're all back in possession. Or Gylfi gets it. How many times in the first half in particular did Gylfi Sigurdsson receive the ball, move back, and then try to thread it to Richarlison, and they just doubled up, or he give the ball away, or it went and it come back because they had men behind us.
You're right there, because in the summer, when I looked at like why we signed players, the summer, the idea was in Gbamin's case is someone who can attack the space, someone who's a good one-on-one player, can dribble past, break the lines, ball progressive, and then you've got Andre Gomez, the Valencia version of Andre Gomez that we all long for, same type of player, gets on the ball, can break down the lines, and if we had that midfield and playing at the best, then yes, then that wouldn't be an issue. Then that is a great point, because if you've basically got Delph, Schneiderlin, and of course Sigurdsson, there's not much ball progression bar, maybe passing, and even then Delph and Sigurdsson are good passes, but they need hard to create space for themselves.
I mean, we've spoke about this a couple of times. Do we need to go to a flat three in midfield and maybe start using Gomez as a proper number 8, where Sigurdsson and Schneiderlin, and Delph at times, if it's them two, will be the more of the sitters, and Gomez is allowed to become that player that he was at Valencia? Well, could that be an option?
Well, if you look at the way Barcelona used to do it, you look at the way Barcelona used to, they staggered the three in midfield, didn't you? So you had Busquets, and then you had Xavi, your metronome, and then you had Iniesta, like that you're saying, get Gomez forward. And that's the best way, that is a great way of playing a three, you know. But Yeah, I would play it like that, or I'd have a Wobie there and have Gomez as your metronome and have Delph sitting or whatever without Gbamin there when Gbamin's back. But yeah, something like that, a combination of skills and speed and breaking down the lines and progression. But no, with Schneiderlin and Delph there, you're right, it doesn't,
yeah, well,
work like
right,
that.
let me just say this to you, right, that Villa away, midfield, Gomez and Schneiderlin.
Then she's again
Right.
even worse, yeah.
Sunday, Schneiderlin in there with Delph again. Not so if
Palace,
you're when you
Schneiderlin
watch
again.
and Gylfi's there as well. So when you watch Everton, the way we're set up, we're too slow right in the heart of
There's
midfield.
no dynamism, is there?
So if you watch Liverpool, they generally most times I think play a flat three, don't they? They have three. They
If
do.
Fabinho plays, he drops in slightly,
Yeah,
but yeah, apart from
but
that, yeah.
in general, they have players who they have a midfield who do the work, don't they? Henderson will switch it all
They wanna
day
win a
long, but
high,
they'll
yeah.
have a thingy. But their full-backs will come round the back. You'll have 3 players high
Yeah.
and 1 midfielder may break and
Wijnaldum,
get
yeah.
to the edge of the box, Wijnaldum. So they end up with 6 players and around the box. They have 2 people keeping it with the 2 centre-backs. That's fine. No one's ever going to make you 5-on-4 ever because they're having to defend 6. But what we do is we'll get it. We like to pass it around. We roll it out from the back. Centre-backs come and get it. That's fine. We keep it. We knock it. We keep it. We knock it. But everything's so slow. No one will take the ball. We miss. Dare I say it? We miss Ross Barkley.
Thank you.
Right? Or a Ross Barkley type player.
He's a Fulham who
Someone
wants to
who
get
will
on the
get
ball.
it,
Someone
yeah.
who
and he'll run with the
someone who
ball.
transitions.
Who always wants it in the final day and he drop into space,
Well,
even if it's high, loads
arguably-
high,
arguably-
This is
yeah.
what I think Bernard did do for us.
think he
Or-
would.
Arguably, the
yeah.
player who did that last season was Garner.
He was in
He
the
was,
end.
yeah, 'cause he
When he
carried
was
him
at
for
his
your forward,
best,
yeah.
when Garner was at
Cardiff
his best,
game,
he
yeah.
had Schneiderlin behind him, or Gomez. Gomez would sit sometimes, and Garner would take the ball. All right, he'd get to the edge of the box and pass it.
But he'd break-
But he'd have us
But what
up
he-
the pitch.
But what he'd do is he'd break the block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'd go,
yeah.
he'd go the presses. He'd go past the press as well because he's skipping past a couple of people, and next minute all those people have been
collapses,
it
it
collapses,
yeah.
and then you're on the next phase then, and that's where Richarlison can pick up the ball. And what we're not doing is, it's great having 6 men forward, but as you just said it, they've got 6 men behind the ball, and
Then it
then
has
all
to
we
go-
do is go wide.
Yeah.
Then you're not giving
But a lot of
yourself
the time,
that's
it ends
why-
a 4-2-4 for him because you look at the weekends, you've basically got either Dean or Coleman joining the attack, but the rest of it is, and Gylfi goes too high most of the time next to Calvert-Lewin, and you end up with a 4-2-4, but there's nothing coming
There's a
behind
gap
it. So there's not
behind
even
him.
someone behind you can
So
pass
why
it to.
why isn't one of our midfield players breaking past? Let Gylfi if he's in the team, yeah, and he's getting into the box. Right, I mean, realistically, he should always be behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin for anything that drops. But if he's getting in the box to load it, because you try to overload the box anyway when you're putting crosses in, because if you're leaving one in, it's easy. But one of our midfield players should take responsibility. So Sunday, really, Delph should have been on the D.
Like he was against Wolves, he played
Exactly.
high.
He should have been on the D. So when that ball comes in, if it gets headed out, he's the person picking it up. But he doesn't. If you look at Everton's, if you look at when a ball's cleared, there's a massive gap when no one's ever on it. And that's where Gomez, I remember Gomez last season started sitting there when we break. And a couple of times he had shots that got blocked. Garner, the same thing. And and you're right, that's why Gbamin was born. If you have a look at Gbamin for like Mainz and stuff, he gets the ball in those areas and he just charges forward. He's got pace, he's got a bit of power, he's strong, he'll knock it off, he'll get it back. And I'm okay, the manager's been deprived of him at the moment, but it's up to the manager to look and go, right, I've got to try to replace that at the moment. We used to say about Garner and Schneiderlin, when they both sat, it was pathetic. It didn't work. We were too negative. We didn't do anything. And then Gomez come in and he worked with Garner. Then when Garner and Schneiderlin were in and Andre was out for a bit, Garner started improving, and towards the end of the season he looked like a different player, and that's what he's got to look. So now, for me, Tom Davies has to come into this team if we don't alter the way we play, because we have to have someone who is brave on the ball, who wants to get forward, because those 2 midfielders, Delph and I'd take Schneiderlin out of it, and I'd say to Delph and say, right, for now, you're experienced, you sit. You're our defensive midfield player, you press.
But he should be able to sit though, because if you look at the way Man City played in the last couple of years, with Fernandinho as the furthest man back, and I know he's bigger and more physical and a better player than Delph, but they've got very similar attributes. Yeah. What I mean is that they're not the same player. I know that, but what I mean is that they can both read the game.
Yeah.
They both get the ball and use it well. And how many times have you seen Fernandinho being the last man of City's midfield and just dictate the play, just dictate it? Yeah. And all right, we mightn't have the players to do that in that way, but I'd feel a lot more secured with Delph back there and having players ahead of him who are going to try and break the lines like Tom Davies.
He can get around the pitch though, Pet.
The fact that Tom Davies never got on the pitch on Sunday again is just madness for me. It's madness he never got on the first day of the season instead of Gabaman, and I thought it was madness that he never got on. You're looking to change your game. You don't just change your game by going, right, you're an attacker, you come off and I'll put another attack on. You change the point of attack. And Tom Davies on Sunday, even if we at 1-1 or at the very worst at 2-1, not 3-1, that just to me sends alarm bells about the manager when you can't make the change at 2-1. It should have been changed at 1-1, but Tom should be coming on there and the manager should be like, right, here's your opportunity, go out and take it.
What he should have done was sent a message. The minute it went 3-1 then, if he has sat on his hands and it went 3-1, 3 players should have come on. I'm doing this 3, get off, you haven't done enough.
Why, when he does make the subs at 3-1, why are they the same positions coming off? Why wouldn't you have 2 strikers? You know what I mean?
And why is Walcott coming on in the 83rd minute?
Because contact stipulates it.
It's just,
no, it doesn't, but you know what I mean.
I've just got to make that clear.
It doesn't,
but it's just nonsense, isn't it? Because
it is nonsense, and that's where the alarm bell starts sounding. People already before the game look at the team and go, "Why is Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing? And why is he coming for the game?" And when you watch the game beforehand, I can give you all the reasons why Dominic Calvert-Lewin shouldn't be playing in that game. No, but I don't like Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing away from home. I think he offers nothing.
I get it.
I've said this for ages. He doesn't because you get less chances away from home, and he'll take less of those chances even though he scored.
He's not one chance man.
But you look at him on Sunday and you go, why aren't we just playing the ball to him long? If that's the point, if we're going to play him because we think their centre-backs are weak, why aren't we just going long to him? And we weren't. No. So what was the point of him playing?
That is like the miscommunication either between the team and I think we're sometimes going to see Everton set up and think, oh, this is how they're going to play, and then when they're on the pitch it's just the same as usual. It's strange because like as you say before the game I was saying this was playing for the aerial threat, and then you're watching, you go, we're just playing the same ways, and we're playing possession, he's dropping too deep, and really you go front to back, him hold the ball, get Gylfi, get basically 4-on-4 essentially, but no, it never happens, does it?
Why is it like, you can this club, you can change the manager, you can change all the players, we don't change the kit, it's always, why are we ever going to wear an away kit that we actually bring out in the same year?
Why didn't we wear our third kit on Sunday?
We're playing red and black and the referees are all blind, aren't they?
Why are we playing the pink?
Well, remember Bobby.
They wouldn't play in the pink there, would they? Because they wouldn't, because it's close to red.
I've seen Maddy.
Oh, but they would.
They would, yeah. Well, who's the referee?
Why didn't we wear blue socks?
I don't know. Why didn't we win?
That's the key thing.
But why isn't it? It goes to it's 1-1 at half time. I'm without being disrespectful to Marco Silva, a top manager just goes, lads, this has been crap, you're off and you're off at half time. They don't go, well, don't forget back in the game, boys, just continue what you're doing. Or after 10 minutes they go, right, this hasn't improved, you're lucky to be in this game. We're making changes now. You don't make changes at 3-1.
Just be active in it.
It's pure.
He should have, even though we got on top at the start of the second half, it wasn't like a consistent, it wasn't as though it was wave after wave. We just had the ball. Yeah. No, we just had the ball, didn't we? We didn't do anything, so he should have given that. You'd understand sometimes managers will go at half time, you just scored, right, get out there and start moving the ball. We got back in it. They don't always want to make changes at half. I would have, but they don't always want to make changes at half time. But 10 minutes into that second half, you could see they were ready. They were ripe for a plucking. They were ready. They'd lost the confidence with the goal. They were dropping off. They were just banging it long, which is not like them. And we were just ready to take the game, and then it just almost, the momentum like petered out a little bit, and then they just get a goal from Ryan Fraser. But he made a positive change. How didn't he?
Yeah, he brought on
took off Harry Wilson and put on Ryan Fraser, and it worked for them, didn't it? So
very positive, yeah.
That's what you have to be, and we've got, the worst thing is we've got players who can change games on the bench. It's mad.
Sam always keen just to sit on till the 3-1 behind. Do you sit on with 2-1 to win the game? You send them on to win it.
Yeah, he's the one.
At 3-1, you're asking the near impossible. You're just sending players on to just send players on.
But you are in that situation where you send them on exactly the
same. I mean, if the Charlison puts that chance in when Iwobi had the shot and it goes 3-2 because the keeper was down.
That was like 3 minutes before the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know, we might have had a little. We played 5 minutes stop.
Well, then we might have had that. Post, they couldn't get near.
Yeah, we might have had a little bit of. But to be honest with you, even if even if we'd have got back to 3-3, you'd have still looked and gone, that game was there to be won. Yeah. And you've ended up grabbing a point, which we didn't anyway, but you're looking back at it and going, that was a game we should have won. No, you know, and we can't keep passing these opportunities up to win games if we're to go. I
said it before, right? People keep saying that top six is there. You don't get top six unless you get 65 points. Yeah. You'll have to win 14 home games and 8 away games to get top six. It's as simple as that. So, regardless of what anyone else does, if we don't win these games against teams we should be winning against, then what's the point? Anyway, let's leave it there, part 1. Back in part 2 to discuss, Baz. What are we discussing in part 2?
Managers.
And longevity.
There you go. We'll be back in part 2 very shortly. In a minute.
Toodles.
Thanks for downloading the Toffee TV podcast, but did you know we put all our shows out as podcasts? Head over to patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC and you'll find all the latest shows available as podcasts exclusively for Patreon subscribers. So if you need to find all the latest Everton news, conversations, stats, match previews and match reviews as easily downloadable podcasts at your convenience, head over to Patreon. Welcome back to part 2 of the Toffee TV podcast. Me, Ped, Andy the Piv, and Baz, the other one.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, what can I call him? No, I don't want to say that. My head is feelings. Oh, I've said that before. I got locked up for it.
Yeah.
Tan's faded though, Annie. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed.
I mean, you know.
But, remarkably, and I've seen this commented, your hair it's dead dark.
It's gone dark, isn't it?
What's going on?
Products in America.
Alpacin.
Have you been?
I want to properly dye it.
Have you been like Peter Reed? Have you? It's not. And by the way, the mic you can put your hand over your mouth like a professional footballer.
Look at the back of the ear.
Salt and
It's
pepper.
incredible.
Salt and pepper.
Honestly, it's incredible. That's honestly. That's what were you using in America? Lemon
products.
Juice? What products?
I don't know.
6-pack of beer.
Put it on.
I don't want to know what Matthew uses on his hair.
Don't say it.
I mean, it's some of the best grown product.
I mean, he's literally bouncing around Amsterdam as we speak. So
good luck to him.
Good luck to the lad.
Looking for products for.
I hope he's gone the red light.
He's window.
I told him to.
You hope he's gone the red light.
He's window shopping.
My missus was like, don't be going and having. I was like, go lad. Make sure you go.
High five. Here's an extra five. Here's 50 quid. Go.
Here's 50 euros, lad. See what you can get.
Dad of the year.
You've got this. He's 18.
He's got to experience life sometime.
Did you say he's got a kid?
I said he's not a kid.
Oh, sorry.
He's got a kid. Shut up. Better not have. No, he hasn't.
Is the extra expense?
God, no. Don't. They cost me enough. Managers. Marco
I
Silva.
preferred the conversation we were having.
I know, but I'm just thinking I'll probably say something, then it'll get me into.
So you want to wear you want to dye your hair? You said this. You Andy, when last summer when we went to the manager was, he said whoever the manager was, right, he would dye his hair the same colour. I was absolutely dying for Sean Dice to come in, right? I was absolutely dying for it to be Sean Dice. Right? Nobody, you had to go style. You had to go style as well. Imagine if we were like Heisenberg, wouldn't you, with the goatee? I am the one who knocks.
I know.
I am the one who knocks.
If we get Mancini, I'll be all right, wouldn't we?
What I think we should do. I honestly think we should send you to like a proper barber's, Cutthroat Pete, to get your hair dyed. We film it all. Get a bit of a goatee.
You know the thing with dyeing your hair, right? Is that if you could dye your hair and it was like it lasted like a year or something, then I just don't want to go down the road where you'd have to do it all. But I don't know how often you'd have to do it.
You know what you could do? You could just bleach it.
What blonde?
Bit of domestos. Woohoo!
Be amazing. I might just go. What does just for men route? Try that.
Right, I mean, it's not an issue now. Men are comfortably getting hair transplants and
I'd get a hair transplant if my hair went there and I could afford it.
I could go to Conti's fella, that'd be great.
I don't see the problem.
Reed got it.
We live in a world where you can call yourself they,
do whatever
or
you
us, get your hair done.
I think I might.
Or boo.
Who? Don't say boo.
I think I might just go full just for men and see what you do.
I think that'd be incredible.
Like a skunk. Just
I
like black on both sides.
I honestly think if you got...
It depends how often you'd have to do it. If you
just do it once and see what happens.
see what it's like.
Hold on, why is he more invested in this than you?
Because I know what the value of it. That's why.
Wants a piss take, that's why.
Get the goatee on the go.
No, I'm not getting a goatee.
No, pencil thin Craig David goatee. No, that's what I want to see.
Go, hello, my name is Bano, and this is the Edge. And we're raising money.
I think I'll do it.
Let's stop in the middle of song, talk about Africa.
I think I'm going to do it. Why not? It's a laugh, innit?
No,
how'd you do the back?
No,
hang on. You're not doing this yourself. You are going to a proper place.
I'm not going to get me hair down. That's Phil Neville, innit? I'll do it just for men.
Remember Phil Neville?
Phil Neville,
just go to Cutthroat Pete.
Sips.
Go to Cutthroat Pete Barbers. That's where I go. I'm hoping this gets me discount.
Does Pete cut your hair?
No, Pete only cuts like Ross Barkley and John
Stones.
Which, I mean, I'm not being funny, right? One gets an injury and one it's a penalty over the bar. I don't want to go near.
Stay well away.
I don't want to go
with your
near
quad. Stay well away.
Jay used to do my hair in there. He's very good.
Jay. Oh no, Darren's doing my hair at the moment. I'm going on Friday.
Discount. It's just great, isn't it?
I think you need. No, you gotta get it done properly.
Okay.
Get it done properly.
I reckon he goes full blonde. Like, he look like a Bond villain.
Turkish barber with them like blowtorching hair off your head and all kinds.
Imagine.
I think it'd be amazing.
It's great having a Turkish shave though, tell you. Blowtorch those ears is right out.
Once you go Turkish, you never go back.
No, apparently so.
That's what they say.
Apparently so.
So managers, come on, let's talk about managers.
No, just the manager thing with, obviously, we lose a game and it's
doom and gloom.
Everything's crisis point again. And what do we expect? Marco Silva's under pressure again. Seen Jose Mourinho mentioned this week again by Evertonians, get the best and all. I was having a conversation with someone the other day and they turned around and said, well, what we need is a winner who can guarantee we're going to finish here. And I was like, well, get me someone then and I'll sign up. If you can get that man who can develop players, knit these together, do this, do that, I'm all in.
That's not Mourinho, by the way.
So, no, but that's the thing, isn't it? So, first and foremost, take you out of this one for a minute. First and foremost, is Silva getting more grief than he probably should, Andy, or is it justified?
No, because there's two ways of looking at it. Yeah, okay, it's only you've had 3 transfer windows. It's year 2 of a project, but there's been no change. Like there's no. If he went 4-3-3 and we got we did well or we got beaten, then people go, well, at least he's tried something new. He's trying to play a different way. We're trying to sort of develop a bit of consistency. But we never change. It's the same formation as we had 3 years ago, and it's the same type of football. We've gone back into the Everton way of just crossing it and just playing the ball slow. And I'm not on Marco. I don't think the end's near by any means. I don't think it is at all. But the manager needs to be held accountable to the fact that nothing's changing and it's still pretty samey and it's still stale and still rigid and boring, and it's up to him. He's the only one who can change. He gets given all the tools to do. He's been given players, and I know Gabam getting injured, maybe that stopped things, but maybe it hasn't. Maybe we would play 4-2-3-1 again. He needs to show he can do different things, I'm going to be honest, but I don't think the end's anywhere near for him at the moment.
Pedro
coming in hot.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm clearly more of an emotional wreck than other people are when it comes to these decisions. I just want to see. I've said this loads of times. I think he's been really, really badly represented by the club. Really badly represented.
When was the last time he did an interview?
I'll be honest with you, and I think we've discussed this. I think the media can't stand him. I just don't think they like him.
He did a great interview with the Portuguese media. Got translated, and it was really in depth. He discussed what he likes. That's what I mean. Why is it?
If you take all the top 6 managers, right, at the moment, right, who's the one out of the top 6 managers do you think the media don't like?
Emery.
It's Emery
because he's Arsenal,
and it's the same. No, but it's the same reason, right? Yeah. It's because he's quite. Even though he tries to speak English, and fair play to him for doing that when loads of people said he couldn't, he's quite dour. And although he does show a little bit more emotion than Silva, but he doesn't give them anything. And I think Silva suffers from the same thing. And I'm not saying that's right, by the way. I'm just in terms of because of his language skills, or because I read something that the Portuguese are classed as the most miserable nation on earth. It's just because of their natural natural, like how the way they are.
The demeanour.
Can't think of any Portuguese comedians, so maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
there must be some.
So, and I just think that the club have not helped them come across, because the media from day one, the minute he stepped foot in this country, the dickheads on like Soccer Saturday, who unfortunately, see, because we have different kinds of media, don't we, in this country? We have the cream, who people, only certain people listen to, because people like Henry Winter write for the Times.
Correct,
and your average Joe's not going to buy the Times, is he? And loads of the new, loads of journalists have gone over to the Athletic, and a little plug there.
World-class journalists.
Some of the best. Well, not some of the best, the best.
The editor doesn't like me though, but whatever.
Shut up! Shut up! They pay for my tea. No, but what I'm saying is the average man might not go and get that. The average man listens to Talk Sport. The average man, white van driver who drives around all day in his van and does work, Talk Sport, buys a couple of the tabloids and watches Soccer Saturday, right? Or watches Match of the Day, and they're getting idiots basically telling them. You've got people like Cundy on Talk Sport saying that it was insincere that he sent the players down at Lincoln to the shirt. You've got Mason from day one going, this should have been given to a British manager. Who is this fella? You've got people like Phil Thompson always putting the knife in. You've got Charlie Nicholas now for some reason putting the knife in.
Sam's mate.
Simon's hearing.
Sam's mates as well. There's another factor. Allardyce's mate. Talksport love Allardyce, so they're always putting the boots into Silva.
Every morning, Alan's giving him fire.
Exactly. So as someone said, he's always 2 games away from getting the sack. But Everton don't help that, because they do. When Martinez was here, oh my God, you couldn't because of him, and because of Alan Myers.
Yeah.
You loved them. You loved everything. Everton were boss.
How many stories did you hear about him putting those pictures up in the round? Exactly. All these positive things he's done.
But Alan Myers was driving that.
Alan Myers is great, I agree. And I know people wanted him to get him back, and it's probably never going to happen.
Sadly, but this is the point. People were I remember people at the time saying, "Oh, people treat Alan Myers like he's like one of the, like he's a player, or he's nothing but a PR man." So, you know what? Some of those famous people in the world in the last 10 years have been PR men, because they create.
Max Clifford?
Well, that's very from Max Clifford. But they create so much good news for other people to live. I mean, without good PR people, you wouldn't have such great people as the Kardashians.
Horrendous.
No, but Everton for me don't do enough.
Yeah.
To get this manager out there. They're not doing enough to make me, who's a cynic about this manager, and I am a cynic about this manager. I've got no problem about that. It's because what has he done for me to go, oh, it's great, Marco? He's done nothing.
This is the problem.
Who would you want?
But I'm not talking about who I want back, because I'm not saying that, right? What I'm saying is I want to like this manager.
Okay, what do you expect them to do then to make you like him?
What I want is I want the club to have loads of interviews with him, right? Weekly, have a weekly interview with him.
I mean, I did suggest this to Everton's.
No, I know.
PR
weekly interviews with him, and also don't do funny stuff with him. Trying to break down that barrier that he's put up himself.
Well, Dale said they done a question.
I didn't see
4-minute video.
Where did that go? Where was that?
It was on the sheet. You have to be a season ticket.
Did you have to be a season ticket? Well, I am a season ticket, but I still didn't see it.
Really good at that, though. That's a club-wide thing. We're really good at appealing to fans in Liverpool, and really great to, like, we are like appealing to fans around the, with these videos we do for the season tickets. And then when you think about the wider world, do we really do anything for it?
Where did Man City put those videos?
Probably just on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
I mean, Everton, the Marco
one. I don't know.
But the wider world. I would say it. No, but let me just clarify something a moment, right? Is that when Liverpool or Everton or Man City or Man United, whoever, stick something on YouTube or just stick something on the website, right? Someone like Sky Sports then will take that clip with permission of the club and stick it on and go, oh, look what this funny thing Jurgen Klopp did. Oh, he did this and did. And they're great at doing that, like around Christmas when they obviously go to the hospitals and all that. Yeah. And then Sky Sports will pick it up, and Alan Myers will be there because they get to speak to one of the players or whatever. But if it's stuck behind like a paywall, then Sky Sports or whoever, the BBC, whoever, are not going to see that.
No.
And then, because I think the Everton website's rubbish. I don't go on it because there's nothing on it for me to look at.
There's no really any updates. There's no like articles.
YouTube I will look at because it pops up on my feed and I'll be alerted to something.
But what my point was, they done like 5 questions from people from Everton.
But I never seen it.
No, but it wasn't even done.
What was the first one, the 4-3-3 one?
Wasn't it? I can't remember. But that's how good it was. It didn't really stick in my mind because the person asking it wasn't asked the right way. It was one shot to Marco with it, and it's like loosen it up. We spoke in the summer to Everton and talked about a possible speaking to Marco or whatever. My vision is that you sit down with him on a couch, it's relaxed, and you just go like, well, what you doing? What's about this?
But you build relationships. See, that was the other thing with Alan, wasn't it? Alan had such a good relationship with Roberto that they knew they could do things together. Like if I walked in if me and you if me and you came in and there was someone new on the we'd ask someone to come in. Well, at first you'd be, Andy will know. He's only been coming in for the last 2 or 3 months. He'll know that when we first come in, we would be a bit stiff with him, and we wouldn't necessarily make the.
Very soft and gentle, to be honest.
Well, that's the way I like to be. I think you've got to treat everyone. No, but
handles.
once you build those relationships, you start getting jokes.
Everyone relaxes.
Yeah, exactly.
You start being yourself. You start having jokes and having in-jokes and all the rest of it, and you can do things like this. Whereas, so how come the manager build up a relationship with any of those people to be able to go, oh, we're having this interview, and I'm going to go, Marco, what have you just had for your tea? What did you have for your tea last night? And he'll go, this and that. Or what are you watching? What are your TV you watching? And it's not,
you humanise them.
I'm not saying that because he might try and trip me up. You go, I've been watching this new thing on Netflix. It's boss, blah, blah, blah. Did you watch Stranger Things? No, I'm not into that kind of thing. Well, what are you into? Oh, I'm into Corrie or whatever. Roberto used to tell us how he had a split telly in his house.
I was thinking, I can remember a lot about Roberto.
He had a split telly in his house.
And
whether you liked them or not, that kind of stuff, you were like, that's boss that. You've got a split telly. Yeah, because I always watch the footy and she watches that, but we spend time together as a family, and she's watching Corrie and I'm watching FC whoever, and I'm always on the lookout for the next Aidan McGeady. You know,
I actually thought he was a really good sign, but that's by the by at the time.
I
was a different person.
I want to like this manager, right? I want to like this manager. I want to like all the Everton managers. I wanted to like Koeman. I didn't really want to like Sam, but when he had his initials on his shirt, I was like, that's boss. Fair enough, Sam. You big cool bugger, yeah.
Can I, it's related to this. Do you think that, like, because now Twitter's so prevalent and like football Twitter, and there's I can be a bit of a told you so, I guess, but
you're rubbish on Twitter.
Yeah,
you rub everyone up the wrong way.
Yeah, so what? Whatever. No, but it's
typical you.
It's so me.
Classic piv.
Pivot round. Yeah. Anyway, so but isn't it now that people want to go, I was right, Marco was the wrong man, and you see that literally every day, and I think to myself, no matter what he does, you want him out, because people basically, there's like a good result and people will be happy, and then as soon as there's a bad result they'll go, I told you he was the wrong manager, he's the wrong man. Same with Schneiderlin, same with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, same with everyone. It's perpetual, really. It never ends. And I think it's like Ped said the other day, maybe it was on camera, off camera, about an Arteta type coming in, someone who knows the club. Is that the only person who can get Everton fans universally behind them because everyone likes that person already? Is that the only thing that's going to work? Because if you brought in, say, I don't know, Mourinho, maybe I'd be like, I don't like Mourinho, I don't want him in. And then I'm waiting for him to fail, I guess. I wouldn't. But I think there's people out there like that.
There's some people out there that would rather be right than Everton.
Yeah, honestly, there would be, yeah.
Well, when Roberto Martinez come in, did you want Roberto Martinez?
No.
Did you want Roberto Martinez?
Not that I remember, no.
I was very much.
And I wasn't fussed either way.
I think Vitor Pereira was the man.
Yeah, I was full for it. I was full Portuguese guy. But
now in China.
But when he came in on the first press conference, he's like, and the other fella's saying, yeah, he said he's going to get his Champions League, and we're all smirking. We're like, he's put it. But Roberto Martinez just went, we'll see what happens. Fair enough. And then every game that went on, you started to like him a little bit more, and he would go to all these events with fans, and he was always smiling, always positive, and all right, at the end, we absolutely couldn't stand the fella, but he made us.
No, we liked them.
We made us
didn't want to listen to him.
Here's one though, just a quick one about Martinez. Do you think if it was Bill still in charge, not Machine, that Martinez getting them 2 semis would have seen out the season? I think he would have.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't going anywhere.
He wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, and I think that's sort of like
after the Chelsea game.
That's sort of like a moment, like a moment in history where if it's that change,
sliding doors.
It's a sliding doors.
If you look at his interview after we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, And Bill's saying it's because of this fella. Mashiri's just looks down at the floor.
He's gone full me on it today.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He knew that he was getting rid of him, and he was, a couple of weeks later, he told him.
No, but like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Loads of people didn't like Roberto when the fact that we got a manager from Wigan, but he turned so many people around just to like the guy, so that when the bad results were happening, you didn't want this man who everyone thought got Everton, because he did get Everton. It doesn't matter whether he was a terrible manager or not, or some of the decisions he made. He got Everton, and that's, if you could take that personality and put it into Silva. And I don't want Silva to be something he's not by being phenomenal. If he hasn't got the passion on the touchline like the Gainer has of them, right? That's fair enough. I don't expect that. But what I want is, I want the club to just work harder. More video, even if it's more videos of him training in his natural habitat, putting arms around the player and going. But the problem is, when things are going wrong, Everton just don't do anything. No. They clam up, they push everything aside, instead of going, we need to make. Like, if you put it this way now, if you were Everton, or say something bad happened to a celebrity, right? Something happened. Well, who's the one? There's a celebrity out there, and he's just got a PR person to change it. Who is it? Is it Cameron or someone else? Some very famous person.
It's probably David Cameron, because he's on over Everton, isn't he?
He's just basically got a PR person in to change what the perspective of them is. It's like Boris Johnson, right? So apparently when Boris Johnson did that mad interview and he said he liked making buses, right? That was all done apparently, so that when you went on Google and Googled Boris buses, it wasn't about what he said about the NHS and the salary. That's what would come up. That's clever PR, if that's the reason. So change the PR around the manager. Make people like him. Make people give him a chance. Surely Everton must know that the fan base. You only have to go on Twitter or go on listen to Talk Sport or watch all these influential programs to see that he's not liked. And there's only one way of sorting that out is by getting him better PR.
I agree, and this is what we said in that meeting, didn't we? And I was saying there's not enough about him. He should be on regularly telling people what the plan. You were asking before what the plan is. He should be there explaining. He's the man who can influence the plan, isn't he? In terms of the way we play.
2 ways of sorting this. 2 ways. Number 1, goes on Question of Sport. Number 2, he goes on Pointless.
No, but my thing about that, my thing is, you've had 2 interviews of Brand. There was 2 things of Brands. I think he did something in Over the Water where people went and asked him questions. It was like a bit of a dinner thing.
Yeah.
And there was reports there reporting back his answers, and he goes, and then obviously the AGM they have that sort of thing, and then obviously there was the one on the website, which is really good. Everyone enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Apart from the Portuguese interview, I couldn't tell you anything about Marco Silva and what he likes as a system. Apart from that initial interview, we said about the 4-3-3. Like in this Portuguese that was translated, I think Proxima Jornada on Twitter, he's an Everton fan. He think he sort of transposed it, but he in the interview says I like this type of number 10, like this type of wing, and then you go think I've just learned more about what Marco Silva as a manager wants. I understand him more, and as a fan that helped me, and I thought it was better.
He was probably sitting down with a Portuguese journalist that he's very comfortable with, and having a bit of a laugh in Portuguese and all that. Was Portuguese?
Yeah, I thought it was. Thought it was Ronaldo for a minute.
No, but he probably felt very, very comfortable. So why isn't he building up those relationships with someone at Everton? Why isn't someone sitting down where he's very comfortable, whether it be Darren or somebody else, and goes through and has a chat every other week, and just be like, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it'd be sad.
They're not doing enough to help him, and
I don't think
that because of that leads to the stories about Marino. Marino's hanging around like friggin' sword of Damocles over any manager.
He's doing that on pace, like Sam. I remember Sam Allardyce was all over BN. If I was the manager of that club, and that's what Marino is doing now. He's all over telly, watching games, getting accompanied the media. Remember the media was against him. Now he's back on the side.
Do you know what? Right, hand on heart, if there was a manager out there that I thought could come in now and do the job, and I've no like the way they got rid of Rodgers and brought in Klopp.
Which,
if there was someone out there like that now, I'd be like, Sound, get rid of him.
Listen,
and it's not even because he's a bad manager.
Just know there's a better option.
There's a better option out there.
I've had this back. I like him. I think he's a good coach. Everything I've heard about him, he's a good coach. And I think he's right. But you're right. If you could say to me there was this manager, Thomas Tuchel, will come in and he'll turn Everton into challenging for the Champions League, then I'd say, yeah, he's a better option. Let's get him. But I just look around, and if Jose Mourinho could change the way he is and have his teams playing exciting football with his tactical nous as well, you'd want him, and he's a proven winner. He's the most successful coach over the last God knows how many years. But
is he spent forced?
That's what I'm saying. Is he? Would he just keep the same people he had around him, or would he have the insight like Alex Ferguson did to go, you know what? I'm me, and I've got the aura, and I've got the tactical knowledge. However, see this young coach, he's brilliant. Mikel Arteta, I try to get it, but whoever it may be, and freshen the whole coaching staff up. Then yes, then maybe you would look at it and go, he's a draw as well. The players still probably would want to go to him.
I think what's interesting. The Mourinho shout gets thrown around and the Arteta shout gets thrown around. I think what's interesting with the Arteta one is that I think a lot of Blues are very fearful that he'll go somewhere else
and be a success,
and he'll go be a success, and then we'd never have a chance of getting him. So it's almost like, well, is it worth taking that risk? And that's the problem again. That all comes down to not actually caring about Marco Silva and him being really easily disposable.
Well, if you're Arteta, who's your loyalties with more out of two clubs?
If I'm Arteta,
Everton
right?
Or Arsenal? Who do you think?
Is he talking about personal
loyalties? What about City?
No, forget City for now.
He's not going to City manager.
Forget City for now. But if you're Mikel Arteta,
who do
you think his heart's more with Everton or Arsenal?
I think it's with Everton.
I'm going to say though, if I was
because you'll have Kale's influence.
So I look at it
in Manchester.
Yeah, but if I look at it on paper and I go, which team is ready to play my way? I don't think it's Everton. I'm going to be honest. And if you ever listen to Alex,
you think it's Arsenal?
But if you looked at the teams now, I've got Aubameyang. That is a draw straight away. I'm not saying Aubameyang's going to be around forever, but it's the way they play and the fullbacks. That's a consideration, and they say the chairman is. I think Mashiri getting rid of managers doesn't help that as well.
Hang on. We're not. Yeah, but we're not. If you're a manager,
he knows Mashiri.
If you're a manager, though, if you're a manager or you want to be a manager, do you look at a club and think about those things?
Yes. The reason being is because people have made decisions to be managers where they've regretted it because they've got into clubs without. They always said you've got to like the chairman, you've got to like like for example, I remember Ronald de Boer went from coaching Ajax, right? One of the most wonderful football sides. Everyone comes through the academy, they play a certain way. He went to Crystal Palace after Sam Allardyce, and let me be honest, they could not play like Ajax, and it's a disaster. So
you're comparing Everton with Crystal Palace. Thanks, Sam. Cheers, thanks a lot.
Well, you heard it.
Whatever. But my point is, if you're going to come in and be your first manager, you might only ever get one chance. Henry might never get back on a job after Monaco. If you've only got one chance.
We're not that much of a mess. Come on.
No, I agree. But if it's a choice between two top clubs, and
say we're not a top club.
I said Everton the top club in this. Honest to God, what is wrong with this man? But I'm saying if it's a choice between Everton and Arsenal, I'm not saying he wouldn't choose Everton, and I'm not saying choose Arsenal. I'm saying though, and if you look at it, what suits my style of football and where I am going to be successful in longer term, you might say Arsenal. I am not saying that's the right decision, but I'm saying that's the decision you may come to.
Yeah, but you've got to take in consideration that we've already got a song for him.
That's true. We sang away.
You haven't put that into the thought process.
I think you'd have to look at the whole thing.
You would too.
His family, he's lived in Manchester for a while anyway.
I think Tim's moving back. Tim's selling his house in New York. So he's moving back.
He's back.
Stephen Pienaar's just got his...
I think Tim's had the training ground doing his work experience.
Kale's that finished fine. He had this Everton stuff on the other day, but he posted on Instagram on his way to work that he was Everton training gear on. And all that.
Well, you look at Mourinho, it's a different same thing as Arteta. Again, it's the fit. But you look at Mourinho and the type of squad he wants and the type of signs he wants to make. He put us in financial peril.
I think Mourinho was going to go back to Real Madrid ultimately.
Yes,
I
don't think so.
But I don't necessarily think that Mourinho couldn't work in the system that we have, because he bemoaned the fact that Man United that he didn't have a director of football
because
at
he
times.
Wouldn't sign the people he wanted to.
Exactly. That's it. I mean,
he wanted defenders who were 29, 30. We can't afford to take on that debt.
And that's the thing, when people say Mourinho, you have to think about the entire cost of it.
Yeah.
And I just don't see a manager who's sitting on the sidelines at the moment that we could have sacked anyway. So I am happy.
Allegri must seem
oh,
could we attack them?
No, I'm not saying we could. I'm just saying he's the only one sitting on the sidelines who's got a great record.
But I honestly just I want to give this manager as much of a chance, but I just, for God's sake, do something to make me like him. You know,
they've done it with Brands, so do it with, Silva.
But they've kept him so at arm's length from the fans. It's mad. I think he's done one event, and I think that was Open the Blue Base.
Do you remember when Pochettino signed for Tottenham, and they said, "Listen, if you're going to be Tottenham manager, you have to speak English in interviews."
He didn't for a year.
No, he didn't. Not so much of the day. He did it.
But that was dead clever. That was dead clever.
But he said to him, you have to be the certain way. And that's all. And Pochettino's horrible interviews, let's be honest. He's not the best, is he?
I think he comes across really well now, though.
No,
he laughs a lot now, though, that's why.
He used to just be dead serious.
Everyone, the press didn't really like him at
but
the
now he's
start.
making jokes about kicking Mason, which we'd all love to do.
Yeah, we'd love
that. But that's the problem.
Let's see what happens.
See what happens.
The end is not in sight anyway, so it's all speculation.
It's just that the talk again, the minute we lose it all comes around.
Dead simple, put him on YouTube in a video with Mr. Testicles, and we've got a winner.
I'd like to see him with the bootlegger, baby, having a bevy. Just having a glass of red with Marco here, baby.
Having a Mateus Rosé, baby. Actually, Portuguese drink.
I mean, to see what Marco says. Yeah.
That could be the way forward.
But as I say, if anyone can find it, that interview's really interesting with him in the Portuguese.
With the bootlegger? How long ago is it from?
It's about. It was in the summer, and I was looking and thinking, oh right,
I remember
that's what he wants. Yeah, and I think,
oh
right, okay.
Interesting. There you go.
There you go. Right, that's the end of part 2. This podcast's been going for ages. We'll be back in part 3, the final part of the show, to look forward to Saturday's game against Sheffield United. Thanks for downloading the Toffee TV podcast, but did you know we put all our shows out as podcasts? Head over to patreon.com/Toffee TV EFC and you'll find all the latest shows available as podcasts exclusively for Patreon subscribers. So if you need to find all the latest Everton news, conversations, stats, match previews and match reviews as easily downloadable podcasts at your convenience, head over to Patreon. Welcome back to the final part of the Toffee TV podcast. Sheffield United at home.
The Blades. When Saturday comes, Sean Bean.
Always dies in films and TV, not in real life.
Didn't die when Saturday comes, though.
He was on the air a bit, though, wasn't he?
He liked it.
He was leathering the ball.
That film, I can never have that film at all. How do you have a semi-final at home?
I know.
What's all that about?
Hold on a second now. Hold on a second. The semi-final League Cup's at home.
This was the FA Cup.
2 legs.
Okay.
This was the FA Cup.
But it's probably one of the better football films for actually realism.
Nonsense.
Have you seen Goal? Have you seen Lauren Robert at them free kicks?
Why can't they do footy films good?
It's Escape for the Victor had the Ipswich side of 1918, it didn't it? So John Walker.
That's one of the greatest films.
No, that's brilliant. But I'm talking like late. When there's always that thing where they run and everyone like dives out the way.
Well, yeah, because they can't play. Because generally actors can't play football.
Bender like Beckham's probably the best.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
it is probably the best footy film.
The Ali McCoist, Robert Duvall film.
Remember that? Yeah, that was weird. That was so weird.
It's a weird film. Why is Robert Duvall in a film with Ali McCoist?
I don't know. Answers on a
postcard. Person. There's a few young people.
Incredible scenes. Yeah.
So Sheffield United.
Well, Saturday comes at home.
Yeah. Go ahead, Baz. What are your thoughts?
Looking forward to the game, much pet.
Well, like you've just mentioned, when Saturday comes, and we were talking about Arteta before, and last time we played them, didn't Mikel get 2? We beat them 2-0, penalty and a header. Mm-hmm. I think I remember rightly, that was the famous Andy Johnson dives on the Friday, Warner. He dived, he got a pen and he ripped them, didn't he? And then Wenger took it on. A game we should win. A game we need to win if we're to try to get into Europe this season. I know the season's only just started, and apart from Liverpool, everyone's had a bit of a slow start, really, haven't even City haven't been amazing. So an opportunity for us to bounce back after a wreckage of last Sunday. But these aren't, for a promoted side, they're not, they try to play football, play 3 at the back, they knock it round, get it wide, the threat will come from wide areas. So it'll be an interesting game because that's what we do. So, but I expect Everton to win the game.
I'm making no predictions on score.
No scoreline predictions.
Yeah, exactly. I think Everton will win, but You know, Sheffield United are a good side. You know, as I said on the previous show there, that they play 11 English, Scottish and Irish players, which is very rare in the Premier League. Or an English manager, he doesn't play like a typical English manager, if you want to put it that way. He's very progressive, overlapping centre-backs people have probably heard about. You know, so they're a good side. I think we'll get joy playing in behind the full-backs, much like we did with Wolves. They're not as naive as Adama Traore and Ruben Vinagre, but they are. We can get people in space to get balls in the box, and obviously we hope Moise Keane plays, because his runs are going to be essential. You know, his natural runs and over DOMs. You know.
These are the games that they've got to be your bread and butter, haven't they? These have got to be the games that you win at home, regardless whether you play well or you don't play well. You've got to win these games. These are games that you expected to win, and with Everton's away form being so bad, and it's a big week. You know, Sheffield United at home, Sheffield Wednesday away in the League Cup. They're two big games to steady the ship. You know, we after the Villa game we had the Lincoln game, and then we had the Wolves game, and that made people feel better. So these two games coming up are huge. So that's got to start on Saturday. You've got to start with aggression, with pace, and hopefully you'd like to think it not saying we're going to batter them in, because they've done well so far. They've shown what you'd expect from a team being promoted. Rather than have many changes, they've got a level of consistency. But if Everton play to the level they should be playing at, certainly home, then we should be getting 3 points.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We've got a better side than them, better squad than them. We're at home. We're very strong at home, and we've got to go out and we've got to put them on the back foot straight from the word go, and really put them to the sword and take our chances. You know, with 5 goals in 5 Premier League games, it's not good enough for the players we've got. And you know, we're already at -2, aren't we, in the league, and it's just nonsense that. So, you know, getting the first goal, I think we've just been reading before about, you know, obviously under Marco Silva, when we've lost the first goal,
we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we haven't won a game when we've gone behind, and I think that the stat is if you get the first goal in the Premier League, 69% of the time you win the game, and that's the way it is, and we have to do that. And like you say, we've got the players to do that. The interesting thing for me is what he does with the team. There's got to be a reaction from him. Yes, there's got to be a reaction from the team, but I want to see a reaction from the manager, and that's personnel changes for me. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored last week, and it's his old club, you know, and things like that. But for me, Moise Keane has to start. Morgan Schneiderlin can't start for me. We have to be playing at a tempo that is going to stretch them. We can't let them just sit behind. I'm not saying he will, but we can't allow teams to come to Goodison, sit behind the ball and get through the first 15, 20, 25 minutes without being under any pressure, because it becomes an even playing field.
We can't play the same way though, because you're going to get if we play. I'm not saying we play the same way, because we'll probably play different players than we did against Bournemouth, and again, you know, potentially than against Wolves. But if we play the same way, I'm not saying the same formation, because you can't play the same formation, but if we just keep going down the wings, it's going to be really easy to tee off on us, and teams are just going to be waiting for us, because you know. You looked at that Bournemouth game, they sent all the attacks down one side. There's teams are going to start teeing off on us, and you've got to worry, and especially the Goodison crowd's going to be up for the game. I think, you know, I think hopefully the atmosphere doesn't flow over from obviously the aftermath of the Bournemouth game into the ground, but you know, we'll be up for it. But it's a big game. I think, you know, Mark, if we lost this game, you know, the pressure. I'm not saying he'd be pressure with the ball, but from the fans, the atmosphere starts to seep in. Do you remember those days under Martinez when you knew it was starting to go wrong? It was toxic, Goodison. Yeah. And if the chance goes quickly for us to get in that top 6, and I mean, obviously it's a long season, but if it starts to slip away quickly, then the fans are going to be out. You know, it's going to be like really bad.
That's the thing, isn't it?
It's not a must-win game, but we have to win it. Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? It's one of those games where you wonder whether the fans will be up for it, because it's just like it's seen as one of those games. Or well, we'll see how it plays out. And because you don't start if the fans don't start off positively, then it can quickly shift to the moans and groans very quickly if things are not going the way. But if things are positive in the stadium from the start, and we're up for it, and people see it as, you know, a game we must win, like we must win every home game, then you can keep that positivity going, even if things don't go your way, because it'll be a dogged game. They'll you know, be very, very niggly. We've seen that in every game they've played so far. They're a good, well organised side that want to play football. So, you know, it will be tough. You've got to bear that out. But I'm hoping that we get off to a fast start, and try and get into them from the start, and you know, make all the all the things about Goodison count.
If we do the running early on and we stretch them around and get shots away, the crowd are up for that then, and then you can take that on and get the goal, and then you can start pulling them all over the place once you're ahead. But if we start slow and don't allow teams to settle. But generally we've been good at Goodison, we've won a lot of games at Goodison, and we have the players are comfortable there. His biggest challenge as a manager is how we replicate it away from home, and I'm not too concerned about this Saturday. I'm not saying I don't, they can't come here and win, because they can't, because I think in the Premier League anyone can win anywhere, but we've seen Newcastle go to Spurs, get battered and win 1-0, so it can happen, of course it can, but what I'm saying is, for me, there's got to be a reaction from him, and that is with the personnel. If that team goes out Saturday and it's basically the team that went out at Bournemouth, then has he learnt anything? Was that performance good enough for him?
That's the type of thing. Like, if you do come out exactly the same, then people start to think, why hasn't things changed and why can't he change? And the questions start getting asked. Like, as I said, it's not a must-win game, but you look at the game and think but also it's potential for a paper over the cracks game, as you sort of alluded to there, because we win this Saturday, we've still got that away form to get over the hump with, and I still expect us to beat Sheffield Wednesday too, but that's not an easy game in the League Cup. They're not a bad side. They've been doing they won, I think, the first game under Gary Monk the other day, 2-0 against Huddersfield. So they're doing, they've got some, going to the game on the back of a win. They may win this weekend or not, but yeah, it's not an easy game, and we've got to be at it. So these next two games, if you don't win the next two games, then it's really going to be tough for Everton, because you're out the League Cup then, and obviously touching wood there, that doesn't happen, if that is wood.
I think what you've got to look at, though, we win at the weekend, it's be 10 from 18. It's not great, like we said on the preview, but it's all right. We'll be up.
It's above 60%. That's what
if Everton win, I reckon they'll be about 6th or something on Saturday night. If you can win 6th or 7th, then you're in there. Then the table looks all right. Then you go to Sheffield Wednesday, and it's like, get through that already. You're in the 4th round of the League Cup. Then the momentum's building. Then you've got Man City at home at R5. That's going to be a big game, and the way their defence is at the moment, we can beat them. I know they're brilliant going forward, but we'd have to be switched on. But everything then switches again to that positive thing. People start looking and going, oh, you know what, we're doing all right here. We're in the next round of the cup. But we have to be on the front foot. And what I want to see from them is, I want to see a couple of changes, positive changes, and I want the players to get out and get all over them.
Hopefully it's a routine 3 points. Nice little 2-0.
You'd like to see, say, like Keane get a goal, wouldn't you? Because if he gets off that, you start to get off. You'd like Sigurdsson to score, really, because we need his goals back from last season. If he's playing, he is playing.
Moise Keane double, that'll do me.
If I could handpick a player to score,
now that Dom's off the mark, I'm glad. Sort of wants to get Dom off the mark, because I think it sort of takes a bit of that. He doesn't score for 10 games thing going. Not that I want him to start, but now Keane's. You want him to get that goal. He is adapting to the pace of play. You can see he'll get better and better the more he plays, and I think that's what we want out of the game. We would like him to score.
Yeah, there you go. I'm definitely expecting a penalty or some VAR controversy in this game
again.
As long as they can make the right decision, and
like they didn't last week.
Yeah.
But
they made the correct decision last night, because Andy Robinson stripped them. So whatever.
There you go. There you go. Positivity all the way through. There you go.
Did you have to come off Twitter?
The Andy Robinson?
Yeah, because they harangued him last night, didn't they? Lovely fan base.
All 17 of them who went the game. There you go. Thank you for listening to the podcast. We'll be back next week. But also, in the meantime, check out all the fine videos available on Toffee TV. On the YouTube channel and also on the Patreon channel. Thank you for listening. See you later.
Pip pip.
Bye.